Axon main, forged memory in St. Elmo, Illinois, and getting ready to do the heat treat, a little bit of cleanup and heat treat on the Turtle Island Bowie knife. If you haven't subscribed yet, great time to do so. We just did a video where we made a guard, so we're on part 3 right now. Now I'm going to be working on a couple blades. I'm going to turn this over to my buddy Pete, and Pete is going to be doing some camera work, much appreciated. Okay, so one thing I did, I went ahead and I removed the guard. Doing kind of a knuckle bow D-guard for this, so I decided to go ahead and take that off for now. And I started cleaning this up with a 120 and then realized there are some 36 grit scratches on there that just are not going to come out very easily. So I'm going to drop to 80 grit and see if I can get some of those out. And I'm going to talk about this process a little more once I get this into quench. I've got a little kukri blade right here that I'm also going to be cleaning up and doing a heat treat on. But until then, like I said, I want to get this this longer blade in for a longer soak. And there's a reason for that. This is 80 CRV2. This requires a longer soak at critical temperatures than what the 1080 does. So here we go. Not trying to make it perfect, just want to make it clean enough to go in for the quench, because once I harden this, it's going to be harder to clean it up with the braces. Right here I've got quite a few scratches. Those cleaning up okay. Keep in mind I'm going to have to go back to the grinder, to the sander after this, to clean that up. Now going to the other side, that one's not terrible. Generally, if I sand up to 120 at quench, I'm probably going to either have to drop back to an 80 grit or start at 120 again once it's done, just from any blistering or anything on the steel. That's looking pretty good so far. I'm going to set that to the side and we'll switch over to a surface conditioner. Surface conditioner belt right here, and this is like a Scotch-Brite type material. This one's quite worn, so it's going to work just fine for what I'm doing. And I'm going from an 80 grit to the surface conditioner, and I just want to hit pretty well anywhere that I want things kind of smoothed out, blended together. And you can see how much of a difference that really does make running those surface conditioners. It still throws quite a few sparks. And I'm just going to come in on the edge.
Jerry Cook said hi.
How's it going?
Abode Sire said hi. And Manuel Alvarez said hi.
Manuel, how's it going, man? We'll let people know I don't care what your pronouns are. I call everybody man, dude, sir, and whatever. All right, coming in.
Oleski, O-X-E, Demenchko said hi, and Turan Yeltsin said hi.
How's it going, guys? All right, so this is still got plenty of scratches and plenty of work to be done on it. But now we can go ahead and go on in for the soak. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this up to a critical temperature and let it soak at that temperature. Now, looking at the length of my forge here, this will work just fine. I'll probably even harden up onto this tank just a little bit. So right now, I just want to check, make sure you don't want, I'm going to pull that back just a little bit. You don't want the tip of your knife to be too cool, but you also don't want it overheated. But I think this will work. I've got my guard. And my handle right here. There may have to be a little bit of adjustment to that, but I think it will work. At least with my hand. So, all that's coming up to temperature. I'm going to work on this cool little thing. Now, this is a kukri blade. It was a drop point Bowie knife that I hated, and I hadn't heat treated it yet. So yesterday, after I got done forging that, I decided to make a kukri, because people always want kukris. Now this is 1080 high carbon, and 1080 high carbon works quite well. It's quite a forgiving steel. However, I have a couple options for quenching here. One, I'm going to use either canola oil or Quenchol 521. I plan on using Quenchol 521 for the 80 Sierra V2, but I need to determine, do I have enough oil to do this? So what I'm going to do, I need to quench at least 14.5 inches of that blade. Not this blade, but the one that is in the forge coming up to temp. So 14.5 inches right in here. Now keeping in mind that the oil, when it's heated, is going to expand. Can I quench 14.5 inches in this? I sure can. It would seem that I can. I have enough Quenchol. I can do right at 14.5. That's going to come up a little bit. So that'll work well. Now the kukri, I can either do in the Quenchol or in the canola. Will it fit? It will. It looks like it will fit in the Quenchol. So we may do that in the Quenchol as well. I seem to get a pretty good result with those. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start cleaning this up with an 80 grit, and then go to Scotch-Brite or a surface conditioner type belt afterwards. And this is pretty thin for a kukri. This is less than 3/16 of an inch. So I don't want to get it too thin. It's still going to be a good outdoor knife, but it's not going to have near the weight if it's too thin. And I also want to think about torque and impact and overall strength.
Leanne Jonk said hi.
How's it going?
Wagner de Valia said Blade Kukurin. It's what you're making, right?
Kukri, yeah.
Okay. Norse Boy Akramov said hi, and it's a foreign language. I said hi as well.
All right, guys. Well, Pete, you want to get a shot of that? I'm going to go turn the oven on in the back so that I've got it preheated.
Okay.
I'm going to let that soak for probably at least another 8 to 10 minutes. So 10:44 gives me an idea. Very cool. So I'll go ahead and start on this. And one, I'm going to go ahead and clean up the spine of the blade. Not want to take off too much material. I just want to get this cleaned up. Once more, if you haven't subscribed yet, great time to do that. Plenty of hammer marks still on this. I'm going to go to surface conditioner next because, like I said, this isn't a heavy blade, and I don't want to take too much off of it. I think it's a neat piece. But generally, for a chopper, I'm going to make it quite a bit thicker. Chasing the same spots I just did. I love the shape of this one. I'm not so thrilled about how thin the blade is, but it will work.
Gosamose said hi.
How's it going? We get a lot of people from a lot of different countries, a lot of different walks of life on here, so always nice to see some people. I have a couple deep marks on here I'm trying to get cleaned up, but I believe this will work one way or another. So right there is my kukri blade. So the kukri will be going in as well, but the kukri doesn't have to soak as long because this is 1080 high carbon versus 80 CRV2.
Hello from Germany.
Germany, very cool. Hello back.
And Mid Doctor said, "Walks of life. It's a good expression, isn't it?"
Thank you. All right. Well, that's coming up to temp. I'm going to get this, or that one is up to temp soaking. We're going to get that kukri in there, and pretty much once it comes up to temp, I can go ahead and quench it. So I'll have just a few minutes. Once that comes up to temperature in the forge, the kukri, I can go ahead and quench it. The Turtle Island Bowie will be shortly after.
Hello from Botswana.
Botswana. I think that is a first. That is very cool. Okay, so I'll go over the process here. First I'm going to come over. I have some quench all 521 right here, and I'm going to quench the kukri in that first one. That's going to preheat that just a little bit at room temp. It'll be fine, but we're going to go ahead and do that. Bring it out. If it needs straightened, I'll straighten the blade, clamp it in the vise, let it cool, and it'll go into an oven for temper. Right after that, we'll be coming in with the Turtle Island Bowie, forged from 80 CRB2.
Autonomous says Thailand.
Thailand, how's it going? Now, I am going to probably do a little bit, just a quick wipe off or quick brush off.
Uwin Key said hi.
Here, just to take some of that scale off a little bit quicker. So when it gets to that point, I'll be doing that. Now this has ignition point.
Flash point.
Flash point, thank you, Pete. A flash point at probably 450, 475. So that is a little downfall to it because we get quite a bit of flames. And when I'm using the canola has a 700 degree flash point, which means that I can actually temper swords in it if I maintain the temperature. I can temper swords and knives in that oil. Whereas this, it would be just too close and would likely have an issue. So that oil is going to expand as it's heated, and that's why we're going to do the kukri first, and then go in with that max with 14.5 inch blade. And the kukri is coming up to temp quite nicely. You see that band in there where it doesn't quite reach? Kind of that banding.
Trying to.
As I move this, there's a little bit of a band. Just going to kind of scrub it back and forth and get an even heat on that. That's looking pretty good to me, Pete. I'm about ready to go in for the quench. Here we go.
Maurice said hi.
How's it going? All right, now I am going to go into the canola just because it's going to help cool out the rest of the blade without stressing it too much. All right. And it did get a little bit of warpage. Is it still warm enough to do this? If it's not, it will break. Alright, we're going to call that good for now, and I'm going to do the one thing you should not do, and that is put a knife blade in the vice ball. Just in general, this is a bad idea because you can be looking at a little bit of straightening due to the tang. That's not a big deal. But you have to be real cautious doing this, because if you run into that, that's not going to move. And that can be quite dangerous. Sometimes I like, especially on blades like this, I'll clamp different parts. I definitely hardened up. And if you're wondering about how you can tell, one would be the white marcasite that has formed. But keep in mind there may be decarburization on this, and that this is still setting up, but that skates quite easily here on the tang. It bites right in. So just a good indicator right there. And now this will freak some people out. Just kind of do a quick dump for every 200 degrees. It's fine. But I definitely got a little bit of an angle on my tang. That area that's not heat treated should be fine. I'm not going to try straightening it right now. But I will be right back, because this is going in the oven where it's going to probably quench that.
You want me to stop the video?
No, go ahead. Just hit that turn. Don't hang up on the call. Use my Iron Dungeon tongs. Cheyenne calls them dragon tongs because they kind of look like a dragon. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this back and forth a little bit. I think we're probably okay on the heat and all. I'm going to bring that in and quench it. Pete, how long has this video been running? 22, 52. Okay.
When did you do it at 14 minutes?
Around about.
So that's 9 minutes so far.
I want to say that we're probably close enough on that. There's going to be some people going, dude, you need to be more precise on that. Now, I'm going back, I'm going into the canola. Looks reasonably straight. Okay, so now I'm going to let this sit here and cool.
Paulo said, "Oi, amigo." Google's not translating anything, but somebody else said hi.
There you go.
MDR said hi.
How's it going? A lot of people freak out about that. If you're cool enough, it's not going to affect your piece near as much.
MDR said, "Great job, man."
Thank you very much. So we now have the Turtle Island Bowie quenched.
Oleski said hi. MDR said enjoy. Diablo Sarah says, "Why didn't you just let it sit in the water to cool?"
Well, if I put it in water too long, that will fracture out. What I did is I cooled it in oil and then cleaned it off. A little bit of water produces steam that blows the scale off the blade. Too fast of a quench and you are going to damage and destroy what you're working on. It's going to affect your steel.
Let's see. Zach Holder said, "Love finding new forgers. Nice blade."
Thank you.
Show TJ said hi. Leonardo Robertson said hi, sir. And Diablo said, "Gotcha."
Very, very cool.
I think he was
Glad to
satisfied.
have you guys with us.
I think he was satisfied with your answer. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification button so you get notified every time we have a new live feed.
Thank you, Pete. Much appreciated. He says it so much better than I do, but he's got better teeth than I do.
Patrick said hi. Octo said this is coming along great.
All right, so we definitely have a hardened blade here. There might be some decarb, not a big deal. I'm gonna guess probably got a little more heat retained back here when I did the quench because it was towards the top of it. Kind of looks that way, but the cutting edge and everything's hardened up nicely. So that should work pretty decent.
Patrick says, "What are you guys building?"
We're building the Turtle Island Bowie.
Okay.
And September 6th and 7th, you too can go to the Turtle Island Preserve and learn knife making. Link in the description. Be sure to check it out. Several links in the description, but be sure to check out the Turtle Island link. We'd love to see you guys there, and I'm hoping we can get some people to sign up. September 6th and 7th. Check it out. Eustace Conway's for Mountain Men on the History Channel. That's where it's at.
Patrick says, "What's your name, both of you guys?"
My name is Dustin Rhodes, and that is the Pete behind the camera. And Pete has done a lot of camera work in different scenarios. So. What I'm going to do, I'm going to let this cool just a little bit longer in the air, let everything set up, and then I'm going to take it and put it in the oven. Really happy with the build so far. Looking forward to seeing how it turns out. And I'm hoping to see you guys at Turtle Island September 6th and 7th. October 17th, 18th, and 19th, Robbie Bowman will be, he'll be at Smoky Mountain Knife Works for the Forging Festival, which Cheyenne and I will be there amongst some other people. And we'd like to see you there as well. So more events coming up, cool stuff, cool things to do. And we'll have more builds and more videos coming.
Slava Matvek said hi.
How's it going?
Patrick said, "Later, I'll see you again next video." And Nikki Hunter said, "Hi out of South Africa. Looks good."
Well, thank you very much. I got a couple friends from South Africa. Get a lot of people from South Africa. I think they appreciate good knives. In fact, my honey badger flipper's from South Africa. They were trying to sell at Blade Show. There was a couple guys from South Africa came up, and one of them was trying to sell me the smaller version for $25. And I'm like, "What? How much is that one and that one?" And they had this one. The small one was in a blaze orange. They had the OD green for the medium, and then they had blue for the large. And I was like, "How much for these two?" And he's like, "Well, this one's 25, and this one was 30." And I was like, "Well, I want that one." And I've been carrying it since June 8th, and so far things have been going well. So Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and let this cool, get it in for temper, get the cycles run. Be sure to like and subscribe. Check out the description or the links in the description. And if you like these videos, check out some of my other videos. If you don't like the videos, this video, check out some others. You might like them.
Patrick asked, where did you guys build last time?
What did we build last time? God, I do so many videos, it's hard to say. I was doing the Turtle Island Bowie most recently. Prior to that was probably doing batch hunting knives or spike knives.
Steak turners.
Steak turners, the bottle openers. The build before that was actually the reverse falchion build. We can show them that one.
Okay. Oh yeah, this is for a giant, yo. It's like I can't hold it up, that's for sure.
So the Talon reverse falchion build was the last completed build as far as as far as what we do video on. We do a lot of builds, but there you have it.
Shooter said hi.
How's it going?
What you doing now?
Oh, doing more
Patrick
ways.
wants to know, super cool, how much is the reverse flasher?
The reverse falchion is 900 plus shipping is what we're looking at. You can always comment and get a hold of me, Messenger. If you look at look in the description, there's a Facebook link to Axon Main Forge Memory. You can message me there. We're in the process of getting our e-commerce page set up, and then there will be a link to that for shopping. So, guys, have a great one. Pete, what's up?
I was going to press the X button.
Okay. Guys, have a great one. We'll catch you in a few. Be sure to like and subscribe, and have a great one.
And it's circling.